Good evening, everybody. My name is James Jorgensen. Thank you for coming tonight. Tonight, I will be talking about the history of baseball. Let's get to it. Baseball has been around for over 172 years and started as a game named rounders, stickball, and cricket in early Britain, Ireland, and continental Europe. We brought the sport to America back in 1839 because we saw how all the other countries loved to play it. We gave it a twist though, and we changed how it was played a little and a lot of the rules. We also took away the sticks they knocked down in cricket and the bounce, and we went to the long pitch, the fast pitch, and the running of the bases. And we called this baseball. Most people thought that baseball started in a small town in New York named Cooperstown. They were wrong. This was a myth made up by a man named A.J. Spalding. He did this to create revenue for his city and to get them on the map. Spalding would have been very proud of himself today because Cooperstown is known as the birth of the Baseball Hall of Fame location. From this point on, baseball has been played every summer, and there's been nothing like sitting at a baseball field, eating a hot dog, and drinking a cold beer and spending time with your family watching your favorite baseball team. Growing up, I spent a lot of time with my grandfather and my dad learning how to play baseball and the rules and the histories of baseball. Just like all fathers do with their sons, baseball was a bonding time for them. Now let me get to a few baseball legends and let's talk a little bit about them. The first name that come to mind would be Babe Ruth, the Big Bambino. Babe Ruth started baseball in 1914 for the Boston Red Sox and ended his career in 1935 with the New York Yankees. For several years, he was known for hitting several home runs, and he was also a great pitcher. Babe Ruth helped also recover the 1919 World Series because it was tainted, and they thought people cheated, but they didn't. Babe Ruth, he became the icon we know as today, like I said, the Big Bambino. We now will talk a little bit about the first black baseball player. You guys are thinking it's Jackie Robinson, but it's not Jackie Robinson. This guy's name is Moises Fleetwood Walker. They called him Fleet Walker, and he played for the Toledo Blue Stockings in 1876. And he was also known as the first black catcher in baseball. So this guy, he's the one who broke the barrier, the black barrier, the color barrier it didn't happen in 1947, it happened in 1876. The next famous player to come into mind would be Roberto Clemente, who was the first Latino player to be entered into Baseball Players Hall of Fame. Roberto played for the Pittsburgh Pirates as an outfielder and was very, very, very talented man. Roberto played from 1955 through 1972. In 1972, Roberto was on an airplane with his family, and he died in a plane crash. There is a lot to talk about with Roberto, but the most important things are he was entered in the Hall of Fame. His stats was he had over 3,000 hits. He had 240 home runs, and he had 1,305 at-bats. He has been the most successful Latino player at all times. In conclusion, I remember growing up and watching baseball with the two men that were particularly important in my life. Like I said, it was my father and my grandfather. They both taught me everything I knew about baseball, about the sport, and I hope that baseball will live on and never be forgotten. And I'd like to carry on to my children the knowledge I have about baseball, and I like to even teach my daughters about baseball, because it's not just a men's sport, it's a women's sport also. And to this day, baseball has been the most important thing in my life and growing up, and it made me growing up was the best thing in my life. I'd like to thank you guys for your time, and again, My name is James Jorgensen, and you guys have a good night. Bye-bye.